What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things box. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified straight away as soon as new content drops on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into this one. So, a bit more news concerning Anthony Joshua now. As we know, Alexander Usyk, he's over in the Ukraine for his country and everything. So Anthony Joshua is in a bit of a limbo at the moment, and there's been a lot of talk about him having interim fights, which, as I've said in previous videos, I think that would be a good idea for him. And the latest news on that is that Dimitri Salita, who I believe he manages Otto Wallin, Otto Wallin, the Swedish heavyweight, gave Tyson Fury lots of trouble, cut him very badly, gave him a bit of a rough time a few years back. So that's the heavyweight we're talking about. So his manager and he himself have been talking about fighting Anthony Joshua, becoming that interim opponent, that he faces right now in the meantime, while the Usyk rematch is sort of being sorted out while it's all sort of up in the air. So we've got Otto Wallin. He's been talked about as a possible opponent. He makes it very clear he's up for the job, and Anthony Joshua has responded to a lot of people calling him out about who he should fight next and whatnot on Twitter, and he came out with a ruthless tweet and he said, look, I've boxed Otto Wallin in the amateurs. I've beaten twice in the amateurs. I've boxed Joyce, who sparred many rounds in the amateurs, and with Joyce, I stopped him in one round. And he also he alluded to the fact that I stopped him in one round, and I will do it again. At the end of the day, if I'm in the ring with Joyce again, the same thing's going to happen again. So alluding to the fact that he's beaten Otto Wallin in the amateurs a couple of times, and he's stopped Joyce in the amateurs. So he said, look, I've boxed everyone you see in the heavyweight division, all the main names. I've boxed them already, and the results I got, the good results I got, will happen again. So with Joyce to KO, and he says he feels he'll beat Otto Wallin. He's not really worried about it. So yeah, it's interesting. So you got a lot of talk also about not only Otto Wallin but Joyce. Joyce, obviously, he's called a juggernaut for a reason. He is a big, tough, strong guy. He's a guy that is, as anyone who watched him will know, he's not an explosive guy. He's not a guy with that explosive power, but he's a guy that punches very hard, and it's thudding punches. It's consistent pressure, and he is just like this immovable object that he just keeps coming after you. And he's a guy that I think, if Anthony Joshua takes him on, it's going to be no easy feat, because he's just big, he's strong, and by the looks of it, that he's just got such a solid chin, and he takes a very good shot. So it's good times, it sounds like. I'd welcome either one of those for Anthony Joshua, but I would say, in terms of if he is, the plan is to fight Alexander Usyk in the very near future. So I would say you've got to go with Otto Wallin for that reason, because Otto Wallin is a southpaw. He's tricky, he's awkward. So I believe if you're going to take an interim fight, it's got to make sense. And it's got to make sense with respect to who you're fighting next. So I think Joyce would be a great fight, because Joyce is, he'd just put it on Anthony Joshua. He'd just be coming after Anthony Joshua all night long. He'd be in his face, and Anthony Joshua's engine, his gas tank, would be tested against Joyce, who is a very big, tough man. And you got to wonder what happens if he lands on Anthony Joshua. Does Joshua buckle? Does he stumble? Does he go down? I think it would be a fantastic fight. But stylistically, I would say you've got to go for Otto Wallin, because Otto Wallin is the tricky southpaw. He's the more sort of skilled, pure boxer. So out of the two of them, I'm saying you've got to go for Otto Wallin, and I think of the two of them, that's the more likely fight to happen. But it's good to hear that sort of stuff coming from Anthony Joshua. He comes out a bit ruthless on Twitter, talking up for himself. So yeah, that's good. It's always nice to hear that from Anthony Joshua. Hear a bit of confidence, a bit of boldness coming from him. So let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think about Joshua versus Wallin, or possibly Joshua versus Joyce? How do you think those fights would play out? And do you think, like me, that the more likely one is going to be Otto Wallin? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out.